Tonight, turning our downtown into Celebration Central for the NHL.
This is really the first time I've seen the city come alive.
They've lost homes, they've lost jobs, and they're fed up.
It starts somewhere, and this is it.
Plus, Air Canada gets a bumpy ride for dissing downtown. Good evening, thanks for joining us. It's been described as the best welcome home party you could imagine for the Winnipeg Jets. Tomorrow, the NHL is throwing its kickoff party for the upcoming season here in Winnipeg. And today, police say this time they'll be on the lookout for anyone with open liquor. As CBC's Marjorie Dowhouse reports, that's part of the extra security effort to make sure your celebration is a safe one.
It might be a repeat of the day we finally got the news. The Jets were coming home. Tomorrow, the Forks will be transformed into the NHL Molson Canadian Face-Off, a huge bash the league puts on each year to launch the hockey season. This year, it's in Winnipeg.
This is really the first time I've seen the city come alive.
Four-Place Sports Bar is gearing up for the thousands of people who are expected to flood downtown.
You're going to have a lot of excited people down here and a lot of people drinking that are excited and down here. So we'll definitely have a lot of security that day.
Downtown businesses are putting staff in Jets t-shirts, offering specials and promotions, and decorating storefronts for the NHL kickoff party.
Downtown businesses have really caught Jets fever.
Downtown biz knows safety is also a big concern. They'll have a full complement of their downtown foot patrol on the streets tomorrow and for Sunday's season opener.
A lot of people, a lot of ambassadors dressed in red and black to help people out, give directions. They're trained in first aid and things like that if anything should come up, so people can definitely feel free to approach them.
Police say they're ready for it too. They plan to have a significant presence.
We have a really good handle on what we're up against and the excitement that is taking place throughout the city. And we're expecting, a large number of people, and we want to ensure that we have adequate resources at this event.
Police expect the party to be mostly contained to the Forks and don't expect streets to be shut down. The Scotiabank stage will be rocked by bands 3 Days Grace and Winnipeg-born Inward Eye. Rock legends Randy Bachman and Fred Turner will headline. There will be interactive hockey displays, and CBC will be showing some of the party live in a pre-game show hosted by Ron McLean. Marjorie Dowhouse, CBC News, Winnipeg.
A lot of our CBC guys in that video there setting up, because CBC is your NHL Hockey Night in Canada channel. We'll be at the big party at the Forks tomorrow to bring you everything on big screens. CBC Radio 1, 89.3 FM will be there live in the afternoon with Larry Updike. Go say hi. And we'll be there live at 5 o'clock. Remember, Hockey Night in Canada starts tomorrow at 5:30. Then don't forget Sunday, that's the Jets and the Canadians on CBC. And also on the big screen, we'll show it to you at the Forks. The game's at 4, but our coverage starts at 2 in the afternoon. Right after the game at 7, stay with us. We'll have a live post-game show from here in Winnipeg. We'll check in with all the parties from across the city and hear from you, the fans.
Get ready for a big hockey party tomorrow. Despite the summer weather, Winnipeg will lead Canada's celebration of our favorite winter sport with a huge celebration at the Forks. Just days before the Jets play their first home opener in 15 years. Global's Brenna Rose reports.
Preparations are underway at the Forks for a party 15 years in the making in anticipation of the regular season home opener Sunday.
Winnipeg, of course, is such a hockey town. We're so happy to have the Jets back, and it just seems like a perfect place to kick off the season.
With a massive stage, synthetic ice rink, and more than 70,000 fans, organizers say parking will be limited, but the police presence won't.
We want to be present. We want to be a part of the celebration, and we certainly don't want to bring any negative attention to this positive event.
Winnipeggers like Gabriel Wu are gearing up for the big game.
I didn't know the jerseys were out, so I'm actually pretty excited. I just texted all my groomsmen.
Wu rearranged his Sunday nuptials around puck drop.
We weren't sure what was going to happen because our ceremony was originally at 4, and then we had to kind of push things around.
But not all diehards scored seats.
Being right in there is a feeling that if you could bottle it and bring it to at the house, it'd be wonderful.
Instead, Della DeRoche is marking the milestone with merchandise. Today, the RCMP warned consumers about bogus goods after busting another shipment of counterfeit Jets jerseys from China.
if they knowingly choose to buy a knockoff or a counterfeit item, whether it be jewelry or clothing or anything else, that they are willingly supporting criminal organizations.
And no matter where you celebrate the Jets' return over the next few days, one thing's for certain.
It's going to be something. It's something that we talked about for generations, right? As that you were there. So it's pretty exciting.
Brenna Rose, Global News.
Wherever this team ends up, and when this team wins the Stanley Cup, it's coming back to Winnipeg.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Today, I am excited beyond words to announce our purchase of the Atlanta Thrashers.
NHL, welcome home. We've missed you, and we're going to make it work forever now that you're back.
Welcome back.
Despite launching the 95th season in Europe and across North America, the NHL's hottest season opening ticket belongs to its smallest market. Winnipeg is back, returning as the Jets. RJ Broadhead is in Manitoba, where he's listening to those familiar screams at Portage and Main.
Go Jets, go! Go Jets, go!
The Winnipeg Jets are back, and it's been a roller coaster of emotions for the fans. From the origin of the club in the WHA, then the move to the NHL, to the heartbreak of the franchise leaving in 1996, and now the elation of the Jets coming back. That fan enthusiasm is something the players are very aware of.
It's Jets everywhere. It's, all the people we're talking about and all people want to, see. And so, it's a good thing, coming from Atlanta where you didn't really get recognized doing anything. And, now it's going to be a big step for a lot of guys to step up and see what it's like with cameras always around.
Having that pressure every day from the fans and the city, and for me, it's a lot of fun. I like having that extra tension, that extra pressure to perform on the ice, and I think with a young group, that's going to be a good thing.
We don't have a lot of experience, but we have guys that have one before, and I think that feeding off the crowd is going to be big for us. I mean, it's something we didn't have in Atlanta last year, but I think just the excitement in the city and everyone just is pumped up for hockey. I think it's going to kind of fall on the ice for us, and I think we're going to do well this year.
It's funny because I've been living in Winnipeg for 5 years, and pretty much the day I got traded to the Jets, I started getting recognized around town like I was a different guy. But it's been great. It's been a good couple months, and just trying to get to know the guys here has been great as well.
All wasn't rosy for the Jets this offseason. Dustin Byfuglien had a late August arrest involving alleged alcohol consumption on a boat. Well, Zach Bogosian finally re-signed a few weeks ago and is trying to bounce back from the worst season of his 3-year career.
When I get on the ice, I'm just myself. I'm ready to play hockey and do my job. There's nothing I can do about it. So I just come here. It's just been back to work.
I think I just had an off season. It was something I'm trying to put in the back burner and just look forward to the future. And I think playing here in Winnipeg with this coaching staff and just playing here in the city, I think it's going to be good for me, just a different change.
Another challenge the Jets will deal with this season is playing in the Southeast Division.
It's going to be tough, definitely. We're going to have a lot of long road trips, but at the same time, we're going to be at home for long stretches too, where I think we'll be able to take advantage of the crowd and the building here, and use that to our advantage too.
It's been a whirlwind 4 months for the Jets organization since it was announced at the end of May that the NHL was coming back to Winnipeg. On June the 8th, Kevin Cheveldayoff was named the new GM. A few weeks later, on June the 24th, Claude Noel, the new head coach. Then there was the draft, free agency, and countless other tasks. But it all culminates on October the 9th when the Jets play their first game against the Montreal Canadiens. And that's when we'll find out from the fans what 15 years of missing the Jets sounds like. For the Hockey Central Season Preview Show, I'm RJ Broadhead.
RJ, it looks like traffic has increased in downtown Winnipeg since I was last there covering the Winnipeg Jets. So with Damian Cox, Nick Kyprios, and Doug MacLean, there are players, and I've heard it said that this is going to be such a great thing for the Winnipeg Jet players because they'll play in front of a crowd. But some of these guys have played in the Chicagos, in Torontos before.
Yeah, they have, like Nick Antropov and Dustin Byfuglien in Chicago. But, Darren, I don't think you can compare it. I played in New York as well when we won a Stanley Cup in '94, and it's still not comparable to playing in Canada. Talking to a few guys that have already made the move up to Winnipeg in the summer, and it's already started. These guys, they're getting followed home already. They go into a restaurant, and they actually feel like zoo animals because people won't stop staring at them.
You can't have it both ways, Nick.
No,
you can't complain over here and then...
No, and then they're okay with it. But my point is, Darren, that they're going to have to show that they can handle it off the ice as well. And I think Byfuglien's a prime example, okay? I mean, yeah, we know him as a pretty easygoing guy, but that situation where he got pulled over for drunk boating is not something that should be taken lightly. And the attention that follows with it is a huge responsibility. You're not in Chicago anymore. You're not hiding behind Patrick Kane or Jonathan Taves. This guy will be their most popular player by far. But this sort of stuff has to be very careful from here on in the way they handle themselves off the ice. Because before you can even think about Winnipeg making the playoffs, you got to make sure that you can handle that type of attention.
How much concern is there about playing in the Southeast Division?
Well, I think it's a challenge. Look, the crowd is going to be terrific. It's going to give them lots of jump at home. And they talk about travel. Look, some of the best teams in the NHL, Detroit, L.A., San Jose, I mean, Vancouver, they have tremendously difficult travel schedules. So I don't think travel will be an excuse. You fly in a charter, not a big issue. The fans will be terrific. They're going to give them lots of jump at home. My concern, if I'm the Winnipeg Jets, is not travel. It's not the fans. It's who are they going to find to play center after the name Little? You know, is it Antropov? Is it the young kid that's just coming in? I mean, who, Scheifele? I mean, I'd be more concerned about their top 6 forwards than I would be about travel or fans.
Interesting. We don't talk a lot about the actual hockey team and the performance at this point compared to all the ancillary stuff.
Well, because we're treating it as a brand new team, but there were performances from last year in Atlanta that I think are worth counting on. And one was their young goaltender, Ondrej Pavelec, who started out in a very difficult way, fainted very early in the season. We all remember this. It was pretty scary. Well, the fact is he did, after this very unfortunate moment, he did bounce back eventually once they found he was okay and played some great goal. He's 24 years old. He played 58 games. This kid can really play. And if the Winnipeg Jets are going to have a good season, it's going to be because Pavelec is a good goaltender.
And if he faints, at least some fans in the building will notice that he fainted. Well, because nobody saw it in Atlanta.
I can tell you one thing.
400 people there missed it.
It's because of kids like this that it kind of makes me think back to another time. In 1996, the Florida Panthers. We all remember this team. Yep, and there he is, the guy who put it all together, made it all happen.
Great hair.
So the Jets can be like the Panthers. What a year it'll be in Manitoba for hockey.
Something different
looked like
there.
you were about to faint there.
Okay, is it the goggles?
I'm going back with the brown hair and the bigger glasses.
Hey, you've got a different little tint going on now, don't you?
I got to change back to that good brown look. I liked it.
I'm curious about the Sportsnet Power Poll question. Nick Kypreos said Dustin Byfuglien would be the most popular player by far. Who will emerge as the face of the franchise? Right now, money is on Evander Kane emerging as the most popular player. Predictions for the Winnipeg Jets. Gentlemen, we'll start with Damian Cox in the Eastern Conference.
I like this team. I think they can finish as high as 5th. I think for sure they'll be in the playoffs.
No, I don't have them in the playoffs. I think defensively it's a challenge. Byfuglien is going to be up the ice a lot. I'm not sure who's going to defend.
11-13.
That's really, really scientific. 11-13.
What does that mean? What does that mean, 11 to 13?
I mean, somebody's saying,
throwing numbers
who said
out now?
6? Are you serious?
Bingo.
Thought you're throwing out your IQ.
Be sure to log on to sportsnet.ca for the after show where you can watch all of tonight's feature interviews in their raw, uncut entirety.